All right, so this is my VS Code workspace for my new app called One Down Action. Um, Keeps track of different bets for a golf game that I'm stubbing out here. And wow, Flutter Amplify is amazing. Um, Basically, I create a GraphQL model, which is fairly intuitive to create. They have different information on how to do associations. In this model, a matrix represents a. This is kind of like a spreadsheet. It's a grid, and a matrix contains rows, and then rows contain a series of values which represent the status of the match at each individual point, which is fairly complex at the moment, but won't get into that. But basically, it's just a matrix that holds the state of each match at any given point in time, and this object will be mutated back and forth. You have somebody that wins, somebody that loses, and the matrix will be updated. So on to what it looks like coding in with Amplify. So Amplify generates the model files for you. All right, I didn't create this. This is generated. And when we actually go to create our service, right, our service that ends up persisting the data, you could create little utility classes in the same class that you're using. Dart doesn't have the concept of a pair, so I created it. It's simple as that. So looks like Java for the most part, right? And here you go. Model mutations, create. I did not create that. That was provided for me, and guess what? It works, right? Model mutations, create, right? So all of this Amplify code, I did not have to create. And when I run the test, right, I could have a test now that actually goes out, or you have to initialize your Amplify configuration to run live against the database. But here I am. I'm running live against the database. We click run. I don't know if it actually... All right, view. Okay, so here we go. We got the just before I was... Anyway, the test worked. Okay, so here you go. So what I'm doing here is I'm printing out the IDs that were actually used for the database. So, pretty simple. Now, another feature of this developing in Flutter is that I can actually write widgets to hold my data, right? So I made a custom matrix widget, right, which is designed to hold the data in this array type object, which has matrix columns included, right? And I can verify that the data actually finds it to the correct spot in the widget in a unit test, right? So theoretically, I can make an end-to-end test which will step through all of the various mutations that I need to make to a matrix, and then verify that it indeed comes back to the UI with the correct values. So unbelievable. Just so much simpler than multi-tier development. I'm not writing any, I'm not working with two different technologies. Let's say, you know, Spring to write my backend and JavaScript to write my front. Everything's in one area here, and I'm able to push this out to Windows just by default. I'm able to push it to the web. I'm able to push it to a phone app. I'm also able to push it to Linux and Mac. So, wow. Game changer, at least for me here. I don't know if it would apply to all the, you know, battle-hardened enterprise use cases that you would need, having everything in one little shell here. But for my game, it's quite good. It's easy to develop an app, at least. So more later, but Amplify Flutter, grab it and check it out. It's available on the free level of AWS Web Services, so no reason not to check it out.